Ready? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Opening prayer.
Opening prayer. Becky, please lead us in the word of prayer.
Father God, we just give you honor and glory for this opportunity once again to come collectively for our community. I ask for sovereign wisdom and knowledge to the board to direct our paths in what we want to make better and correct a lot of things that are going. Lord, we just give you, we just place this at your altar. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Becky, why don't you give us a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. District Treasurer? That's you, you know. District Attorney?
Here.
We have seat 1,
Here.
seat 3,
Here.
seat 5.
Here.
We have the District Engineer,
Here.
District Manager present. Seat 4 will not be in attendance today.
Okay.
And seat 2 told me to see if we could do Zoom, but we tried Zoom yesterday, it didn't really work. I'm gonna try to just get hold of him on the phone, so at least he can hear, and if he has to.
But we have enough for a quorum,
Yes, sir. He wanted to be a part of it too, so.
I bet. Alrighty. So with that being said, thank you, Becky. John, any additions or anybody, any additions, deletions, substitution to this agenda?
Yes, sir. We have, let me just make sure what we have here, sir. So Becky, this doesn't have, well, I'm gonna provide, I'll do it under the update, never mind. The only item, Mr. Chairman, is consideration of the proposed purchase and sale agreements for 4 parcels being sold.
Gotcha. So it's,
You can-
so it's the 2 lots that were sent today, the offers that were sent for 2 lots.
Yes, sir.
2 lots,
You can add that as F
G.
if you want.
we're gonna add that as G then,
I'm sorry, G.
2 lots proposed, okay? All right, anything else? Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Well, the culverts off of Avenida del Centro,
Yeah, but
Bring it
that,
up.
you can bring it up, but that
Bring
doesn't, yeah, that doesn't
the
need.
report.
Yeah,
Okay.
that doesn't need to be voted on.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you. Please bring that up in your manager report.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? In addition? Anybody from the board?
No.
All right, with that being said, so we'll add that to G. With that being said, B is okay now. C, can we get approval, if any, for the meeting minutes for June 25th, 2025 from the board member? None being done, we'll pass on that. Public comment, do we have any?
No, sir.
No public comments. So we're gonna stroll right into, old and new business. So the first one I'll speak on, John and the board and everybody here, I would like for us to adopt here going forward, as most cities and counties do, holidays and PTO, not PTO, but holidays, what we will allow for our employees and staff going forward, so we know without a shadow of a doubt what those days are, instead of saying, hey, by the way, the city is doing this, we'd like to do this, the county's doing that, we wanna do that, that we know for sure, and our clientele knows for sure what those days are ahead of time. That's what I'd like to propose to the board. Any discussions, any comments from the board, or anybody in our legal team as well?
Well, all we would need is, share the date, look at the holiday schedule. We have our federal holiday schedule, and go down it and just say, this is what we will approve and this is what we want to approve. So then that way I can update it, and then you can vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Governor DeSantis gave the 3rd of July to all government employees. And so the Henry County,
All
their,
state employees.
all state employees. Henry County gave it to their, like, maintenance department, but they left the clerk of courts open. And it's happened before. They did that also back in, December 31st, I think about two years ago. They wait for the last minute, and then they're like, well, we're gonna close the offices, and we've kind of followed that, and we've never had anything established for us. So
Yeah.
that's what Mr. Mata is, saying, so we can have clear, holidays for ourselves.
Up front, like,
Yes.
don't have to, so, a suggestion, because here's another one.
Go ahead.
I actually have a court case in Henry County Circuit Court that all the attorneys are from Miami, and, June, I think it's called Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, yeah.
So we had a hearing, and you call the judge and say, you set the wrong hearing date, you set it for this, and it's a federal holiday, they go, it ain't here.
Correct.
There's no holiday here. So
Sure
the
thing.
point being, that I recommend you pick, like, you say Hendry County. We will follow, and if you go to Hendry County's website, they have it, they have a holiday schedule that you can print out. And just follow their schedule, which means, for example, if the state employees might get a holiday, but if it's not a Hendry County employee holiday, then it doesn't apply. You really gotta stick to one, because if you look at federal holidays, you look at state holidays, it's gonna be, you can come up with a very long list. I just recommend you just, Hendry County, that's the community we're in, that's one option for you, the board to consider.
Sure. Well, like I say, we have cities around us, we have counties around us. I just like for us to pick it so our staff knows, our board knows, as well as our community knows exactly what it is. And then, it can be paid accordingly. Because sometimes, so like for instance, as Becky mentioned, just July 3rd. So that July 3rd that the team took off just threw all of our time documented differently. Because you have employees that work, now it's a holiday, so we have to pay different rates, those type of things.
Not for that day.
So,
It was still considered an 8 hours.
so what about the people that work that July 3rd, that on that day that was a holiday and they work?
It was just straight overtime, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah,
So-
it was just straight overtime.
So it's different though, because if that wasn't a day, they would be working their normal work schedule.
Correct, sir, yes.
So that is not in our books so-called a holiday. So the people that did work that day, not only did they get, holiday pay, they got overtime, which I'm not against. But I'd like for all of us to think about that, see what they think going forward, so we can, nail that down instead of speculate, we're following this, we're following that, we're following the other. So, board, I'm open for, any suggestions. If not, we'll go from there, but any comments from the board?
I would suggest to follow Henry County on holidays.
All right, anything from you, Mr. Cortez? On it?
I mean, I think we probably start with a list of what Hendry County's doing, and then if that's what we wanna do as a board,
Gotcha,
make it an official thing, you know, maybe the beginning of the year.
gotcha.
Probably, for example, for 2026, you probably wanna publish it like in October of this year, because.
Probably September,
Yeah.
going into our new fiscal year.
Because then you got New Year's Day and
Sure.
all those holidays.
Absolutely.
That we stamp it and it's official, it's published on the website, and then everyone sees it, and
So can we make a motion, John, on the stipulation is, hey, we as a board want to approve this, but we'd like to ahead of time see what days on their schedule, and then we'll modify it from there. Is that, will that, something like that work?
Yeah, you can tentatively approve following the Hendry County holiday schedule, subject to your final approval.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it goes back, sir, to the same thing. At the last minute, the county has closed their offices on the 31st. The first is automatically on there. I've always followed their schedule, but they'll send out a massive email to all of us, and I'm included, where they're gonna close their offices on the 31st. And that's where Mr. Mata's talking about, just the same thing that they just did. They did, but again, the 31st was for everybody. But this time, it was only for certain offices. on the 3rd of July. So I just want, because again, they will send out the mass email, maybe that a few days before, they give this
So-
day off.
So let's do this, I mean, let's look at what we did last year. Keep that in consideration, that July 3rd, put it on a paper, we review it next meeting, and then if we have any changes or modifications, we can do it then, and if we need to,
So, yes.
run a vote, because I mean, it's gonna be very little change year over year. So if we come up with a, solid, because I mean, I don't wanna, if they're not publishing an actual calendar like every year, then I'm okay following their days, but I don't wanna wait 3 days before they decide, I don't know how they do it.
So here's another problem that I foresee in, with the July 3rd. Let's just use that July 3rd. It was last minute, right?
Yes, sir.
Nobody knew. You send it out, right? You send it out, but
I sent it out, I sent
Correct.
out a receipt.
the public doesn't know. Our constituents don't know. So if they're trying to come to the office to do business, we're closed. They don't know. So that's what I'm saying. There's the problem that we have. Again, we're here for our clients. But if our clients, hey, by the way, you publish these days, and how do we know that you took off?
Yeah.
So I have Mr. Santiago online,
Mm-hmm.
sir.
Employees will probably like it too, if they can plan out their holidays.
Sure.
It'll be,
Sure.
you know.
So we can do it on a case-by-case basis, the ones that are for sure. But again, I'm not against it, but I just would like more clarity. So like, for instance, some places do give Juneteenth off, and other places do not. And right now, I don't know how many paid holidays, I think there's 13 or 14 maybe that we have, but so I think we need to stick to something.
Yeah, and just to be clear too, when I say Hendrick County, I mean the county, not the county clerk of courts,
Sure.
not the,
county.
the county.
Understood.
Yeah. So, were you gonna say something?
Yes,
Can you hear him?
can everyone hear me?
Yes. Yes, they can hear you.
What I was going to state was, there can't be, so I agree with last minute stuff, because our constituents have to be made aware of that. So I'm in agreement to that, but legally, can we put some kind of notice stating that we do follow Hendrick County's, holiday schedule, regarding that, until we come up with some hardcore policy to put in place for the office? Because going off of a tangent saying, oh, that it's been approved, for us, it does look bad for us. So I can see where that's coming from.
You can adopt a county holiday schedule, which is published every year. And if there's changes.
And I think they do it. And I think they do it, they have to.
Yeah.
They have
They
to,
have to.
they have to send something out ahead of time.
But
Okay,
like Rick said, people plan ahead their vacations
Sure.
or holidays and stuff, so it's good that for the employees to know.
absolutely. So with that being said, does anybody, again, because I'm the chair, I can't make a motion. Does anybody want to put a motion in for any kind of proposal for the holidays?
I was doing more than just for follow Henry County holidays, and we take those, specific day as the day comes out.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor, do we have a second?
I'll second it, but I would like to see the printed,
I'm with you.
the printed one.
So I believe, ask him if he's in favor.
Are
All
you
in
in
favor?
favor?
Alright,
Aye.
Aye.
I,
With the same condition, John, that we're able to look at the schedule and make, to make sure it makes sense for us.
yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, it's always 10, 12, whatever,
Yeah.
total holidays. I just would like to kind of put it on paper where we don't just approve something that says follow Hendrick County, but we actually have our own, even if it's copied in Hendrick County, but it says Central County
Okay.
holidays.
Our header,
Yeah,
our letterhead.
yeah.
I'm agreeing on that. All right, so moving on to the next one. So this has also come up to me, Becky,
yes, sir.
and the board. So we have a summer program that I fully love, I support 100%, but it definitely conflicts with our citizens and our constituents using that clubhouse and the pool. This year, it just finished, correct?
Yes, sir.
And school's about to start, I think, in next week or 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks. I think,
Okay.
yeah, 2 weeks, August 10th, I think it is.
So, board, as we operate this summer camp, and we have made some adjustments from last year to this year, we have made some adjustments. So the adjustments, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, Becky, is the summer camp utilizes the pool from the whatever time morning to about 1,
Yeah, they stop at 12:30,
12:30.
Yeah.
And then the public's able to come in after 1,
from 1 on.
1 on to
Yes.
wherever it closes.
Yes, sir.
So, the thing that keeps coming up to me is, Mr. Mata, it's the summertime, and when we're allowed to use the pool, we can't use the pool. And I said, but why not? And they said, if there's lightning within, how many?
20 miles,
20 miles, they have to get out of the pool.
that's correct.
And if it's raining, we gotta get out of the pool. So there's a lot of things, so I was thinking is, as a board, can we think about utilizing the pool instead of 5 days a week, that they utilize the pool Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and allow our community to utilize the pool Tuesday and Thursday, so they have access to the pool as well. And I think that's a decent compromise. I could be wrong, but I think it's decent because this year it's been pretty tough for our constituents to use the pool because of what goes on in the afternoon.
Well, it's not just in the afternoon, because if it's raining in the morning, or if we get lightning all day, the kids don't get in the pool at all.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, they only get to use it when it is available.
But our summer camp program uses it a lot more than our community does.
In the morning, yes,
So,
but, I mean, again,
so I just, see what the board thinks about it. Maybe you might disagree, that's fine.
Daniel wants to, Daniel.
So Chair, if I may, if we take that opportunity from the summer camp and giving them a strict schedule, like our district manager did say, then that restricts their days or availability to use the pool. And then it also comes into the notion as of a safety concern of who's entering and exiting the clubhouse due to the outside bathrooms not being repaired. So if someone was to change out of their wetwear, where would they go? Because there's no bathroom for them, and how would they exit and enter the clubhouse?
So,
That's one of my concerns.
so I'll let Becky speak on it, or I can speak on it. It's a good question, but, we have an answer for that.
Yeah, the bathrooms are working outside, and they are only allowed to use the ones outside, and the showers are outside.
And
So they'll have the side entrance, it's
exactly,
the same thing. They will not be able to come in because of, again,
The
safety
program,
measures
yes.
of the program for the children.
same way that they
Always
do,
protected, so.
same way we do now.
Yeah, same way
Yeah.
we do now. We
Right.
opened it in the afternoon after 1 for the community to come in, and that's every day of the week.
Right.
So they just want another day. So, I mean, again, like I said, even the kids though, it just depends on our weather, and sometimes they're allowed to. Sometimes we don't even have rain, but there's like rain. We have to close it. We gotta take the kids out. So that's just me.
Sounds like you
We
need two
just,
pools.
it takes away from the kids in the morning.
I drank the pool water. Oh, boy, it went down. Excuse me. It went down the wrong channel here.
Sounds like you need two pools.
We got 2 pools. Actually, we need a bigger pool. Our pool's too small.
I feel that we are, even in the evenings and the afternoons, we went ahead and we opened it to the pool to accommodate the public. Very minimal come in the afternoon to use the pool. And it's like, again, we're gonna take away a few more days from the kids in the morning when they look forward to that. And again, that's me, and I've been over there with the kids. They do other things outside in the park and whatnot. And we use more of the park in the afternoon so that the public be more at peace. You know, the kids are not wanting to be, over there, and even then, I'm just saying, if we keep taking from them, it's gonna be very minimal the time that the kids are gonna be able to do anything.
I can agree with that, but so for instance, let's, again, there has to be a comment, and this is just my point of view.
Mhm.
There has to be, I'm not saying fair, but there has to, huh?
Balance.
Exactly. So if you see, and they do a good job over there, and she's absolutely right. But if the young kids have right now, they have 5 days to utilize that pool. Our community has to wait till 1 to get in there. And if it's raining, and we know we're in that season, a lot of our community's not gonna have access to that pool. So again, I'm just trying to, I try to bring solutions as well. But if we can give them 3 of the days where they have access to the pool, and our community has 2 days where they have access to the pool at any time, so to speak, when it's open, I think it's a good compromise, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
But again, that's just my opinion. But, and then the summer camp has, I don't know if you guys have been there, but we have a great turnout, and it's hotter than a mother out there. And so I applaud the people that work for there, I applaud the kids, but it is scalding hot there. And I know we bought them fans and everything, but those accommodations there, it's becoming pretty crazy. I don't know if you've ever been there, but maybe you guys might wanna go visit and see what they're having, what our counselors and our kids have to deal with, and our staff. It's pretty good, but that's something that, people in the community have asked me to propose. Wanna open it up for questions, what do you guys think, and we'll go from there.
I mean, you gotta have some sort of compromise. I just think it's gonna be kinda tough on the kids, cause I don't think there's a kid in that camp that is coming 5 days a week and is okay with not getting in the pool all 5 days if they can.
Sure.
I mean, they're kids. You know?
Absolutely.
It's like me eating candy in front of a kid and I don't offer him candy.
Absolutely.
That's the bad thing about it, that they're gonna be upset, they're gonna be, oh, why are you all sad today? Because we can't get in the pool, you know?
Can we, put some kind of a timing, 8 hours, they're there 8 hours, correct, the kids?
They're there from 7 to 3,
Okay.
but again, we took in the morning to do any activities in the pool to leave it open to the public. It's already split in half.
So the first 5 hours there in the pool?
The thing is
activity?
that in the afternoons, we tend to get some rain, okay? And so that's what Mr. Milo's talking about, that people have come, that the afternoons is always raining. And
Not
they
always.
can't get it,
Not always.
but that's what they're stating.
But it doesn't even have to rain. As
Yeah.
she said, if you hear one thunder, you gotta get out.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 20 miles away, so you do the math.
Why 20 miles? That's far out.
It takes less than, I think it's 30 seconds from 20 miles for a lightning to hit, and you're in the pool. We can't take a chance with kids,
No, I understand that, but
and the other thing is that the board agreed that it's swim at your own risk. And even then, if there's lightning, we still have to tell them to get out.
no, I understand that, of course, you wouldn't
So,
want
I
to get,
mean,
but 20 miles, you got too far out to get them out.
you would be surprised how quick that travels, Mr. Moreno. And that's just, Lifeguards.
That's what our lifeguards are using and our staff is using. So again, the people are compliant, but the complaint from
Yeah, but
the
this
residents
is
is
the pool.
we don't have access to it. So again, it's never
That's
gonna
a
be
tough one.
it's never gonna be perfect, so, I would ask.
Mr. Santiago would like to say something.
Go ahead.
Chair, I agree with everyone, on that notion, with the kids and the 5 days, but there there could be a compromise for the 2 days, that we do allow the community, if that's the direction the board wants to go, and just flip the time frame from the summer camp using it in the morning to swapping it where the kids can come in after one that day, so that they still have that time to go in the pool on one of those days, to giving the community that opportunity. I don't know if anyone opposed that, where the 2 days that we do allow them, in the morning, and then the kids in the afternoon. What does everyone think about that?
Well, I think like Becky said, is that summer camp's over at 3:30, so they're at 3, so they, if the pool's open, they have access to it again.
Yeah,
If the whole community does,
correct,
right? So-
yes. Yep, everybody does. Unless we say no, and then that's gonna be another problem.
Right.
Because then they're gonna say, well, now you guys gave us Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning, why does it rain in the morning now, and we can't come in the afternoon?
Absolutely.
You know, so, I mean, I'm just saying, I get the balance, and like I said, I try to balance it by opening it to the public from 1 on.
That's a good idea.
That's what it is right
That's
now.
what it is now.
That's what we have. The kids only use it in the morning. That's it.
I would suggest
So,
to
I
keep it
mean-
that way for now, and then, you know, on the afternoon for the, community to use it.
Unless you wanna extend the, clubhouse hours to 8 after the rain. We tried it before,
So actually,
Chair.
I don't think you want me to talk about the clubhouse hours, because I think our hours of operation is too early to begin with. I don't think any clubhouse in America starts at 6 o'clock, 6:30. That's just my opinion. So yeah, you might wanna be careful, because
Well, we start from 7 to 10. Those are the hours.
most clubhouses don't open that early. So you might be careful. Don't open that can of worms.
Gotta open the doors up.
Huh?
Gotta open the doors up at the clubhouse,
At 7 o'clock?
yeah.
They do the maintenance in the morning.
So who comes in at 7? All
No,
Staff?
whoever's on, it's 2. There's only 2 that are on.
But, I mean, she makes a valid point. Sunlight still open till 8. So she makes a valid point. That's a possibility. We can extend the hours.
Because sometimes it just rains from like 3 to 4. But if we extend it to 8, they can be there to 7:30.
And that can be done, let's say for instance, during the
Anybody's
summer
schedule
hours.
can be adjusted.
How many employees do we have in the clubhouse?
We have 1, 2, 3
We got 3.
full-time.
Yeah, we got 3 full-time, and then we have 2 part-timers that they work the weekends. Well, one works from like Thursday to Sunday.
So
Is
that
all, do those 3 start at the same time?
No, it's they have
A shift schedule.
it's a shift schedule, days. So 2 work, like, from Monday through Thursday, 2 of them work, and then there's one that works with the other 2 on the weekends. A permanent employee, you know, like a.
So you got 3 full-times.
Yes,
If we extend the hours, alternate one of those 3 not to start at 6, start later on. So you
correct.
stay all the way.
That's what I was saying.
Yes, sir, you could.
We
You
can
know,
adjust it.
That way we don't have to pay overtime,
You could.
Mhm.
okay? So,
It's
we're gonna have
option.
to wait.
Just throwing it out there. So.
Sure. No, it's a good option. So anybody else have any comments on the board? And would you like to anybody like to make motion on how we address this, or keep it as is? Cause I'm the chair, I can't make a motion.
I mean, if we keep it that way, I mean, we're still gonna get a complaint. My motion would be to extend the hour to 8 o'clock, reduce one of those full-timers to start later on, so you can stay for closing. That'll be my motion.
Okay.
till when? Just the summer, or,
Just for the summer, yeah, just for the summer.
so what, like, you wanna throw a date, like when we would
No,
stop
just
that?
for, June 30th, whatever, they finish school until August 15th, whatever day they start back to school.
So
End of
during
school
our summer camp hours,
Or summer camp out,
adjust the time till that.
That might work.
okay?
So
John, you
next
gonna
year
say
we
something?
can adjust it like that and
So
see
we
how
go-
it works out.
Every year we have to, make a change on the hours.
John, any comment on that, or you?
No, I think what you meant was, it should be during the summer camp days.
Mhm,
Oh, that's good.
mhm.
No remember motion.
All right, so Mr. Moreno has a motion on the floor. I'm not sure if Daniel can hear that or not, but do we have a
Yes, we can
second?
hear it.
With the proposed for the summer camp, schedule, correct?
Yes, adjust the hours during summer camp for the clubhouse employees to keep the
Cool.
facilities open till 8.
Okay, that's it.
Just a few questions, is that, so that wouldn't increase any overtime or anything?
No.
And then what about, like any liability, like if you have, I'm assuming you would just have one person at the end of the day, till 8 o'clock?
Mhm.
Is that
Yeah, 'cause
sufficient?
yeah,
That's common.
it's common.
Unfortunately,
Mhm.
Okay,
that's very common. That's why we were able to get the part-timers.
yeah,
But that's how they ran it for many years here, three
Many
employees,
years,
yes,
one person?
one
Yes.
person, three. Yeah.
By that time, the kids are out of energy.
And also remember, the board agreed that they would be swimming at their own risk. We'll just make sure that
Absolutely.
they're following
Correct.
the rules,
Absolutely, except for,
the kids,
exactly.
yes. If they're 18.
You have to be a certain age.
Yeah, you have to
If
be,
you're not a certain age, you can't be in there without an adult.
and an adult needs a person with them. Oh,
However we have it set up.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, to adjust the hours during the summer camp, that's the motion.
So we have a motion on the floor
He
for,
second, Santiago said he
have a
second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries, and that'd be for next year, Becky.
Yes, correct, sir. It's 25, 26.
Moving on, discuss, vote on logo, Kent County, Water Control District. I think
Mr. Santiago had, presented you guys, I'll let you speak, Mr. Santiago. Sorry.
So I had presented the logo, to the board, not last month, but the previous month before that, in reference to a couple logos. The board had approved the logo, minus changing it, the verbiage, which was Central County Water Control District, on one, to putting it on the one that said Natura Ranch Water Control District. That was changed and sent over for the board to review it, but it was already approved. I went over last month's meeting notes and the board didn't approve it, so I wanted to bring it up to the board again to discuss what changed within the last 30 days.
You weren't here?
You weren't here, Cortez
You
said.
wasn't here to make that motion. Nobody made a motion.
Nobody made a motion for you, that's why.
Okay.
So,
Well, the motion was to, after we approved that logo, was to have our district manager, execute it with Anthony on the website and the app, and then create, billboards to put around, or like banners around Montura to inform all of our constituents in downloading the app, to staying up to date and informed about all Central County, duties. As the app is running now with the old logo, so that was what was approved, so that's the motion again on the board.
All right, so, does anybody have any discussion before we bring up to a vote? Any board members have a discussion about it? No discussion, so we have a motion on the floor by Supervisor Santiago to accept the logo that was approved. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries, Daniel. Motion passes. All right, talking about next is conservation easement contract.
Yeah, you should have a conservation easement, we just need to get a vote to sign it, and we'll have to get it recorded, once it gets signed. And it was part of the requirements of the water management district for the above ground power.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
That mitigation area had to be covered by a, conservation easement.
Okay. Anybody on the board have any questions with that?
Nope.
All right. motion on the floor to approve the easement contract, the conservation easement contract. We have a motion on the floor,
Santiago?
Santiago, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Is this something to vote on, Becky, or is this something that we need, this Sun State signature card?
Okay, so,
We need to vote on it, or we just need to do it?
we need to vote on it because it has to be in our minutes. Because they have to be, the minutes have to be approved as
Gotcha.
well. Like I stated, the South State, which was Center State prior,
Yes, ma'am.
the signature card was never updated since like 2017, 2018. And when I called to try to just fix our address, I couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a signer, I've never been a signer. It's up to the board, and they don't have none of our new board at all on that account. Because Mr. Boy and Marie were the ones that always handled that for us.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
this came about because I had to make our, bond payment on the levy. And, they would do it, they would just transfer the money into the account and do like a, ACH payment. Yeah,
Wire transfer, yes.
so,
From yesterday, don't I remember that they also need to grant you permission to access the account?
yes.
For the
So
record,
For South State, yeah. So in case I have to update like the address, or if we change, if the board, again, I can't physically do anything because it needs signatures from the board. I just, to have the permission to talk to them on the phone
Sure.
and make sure that the things are going how they're supposed to. Yeah, yes, thank you.
I didn't mean to get into your business, that's. has
You're
nothing
part
to
of
do
our
with-
business, you're part of our board.
That has nothing to do with engineering, but I just
Yeah.
remember you saying that
Yes, sir.
yesterday,
Yes,
that
sir.
they needed to grant you permission so that you could
Yes,
talk to them.
so, I need, the motion is to, everybody has, signature, information for South State.
Okay,
I have to physically take that to them with a copy of your IDs.
okay.
But I need that permission to do that.
So,
That you guys give me permission to,
so the motion needs to be, you need permission to, authorization to mess with our account?
and I'm not gonna mess with your accounts,
Of course, but
but
to,
yes, to be able to, collect information.
I got to collect information.
Yes.
I know.
Yes,
before we go into that motion, I want for the record,
Yes,
I
sir.
went to, First Bank today
yes,
to
sir.
make that, wire transfer,
Yes,
for
thank you,
$71,000 with $15, service fees,
that's right.
okay? I wanna make sure that, it's on the record.
Mhm.
And you have it, and I've delivered a copy to you, baby.
Yes, sir.
You made a wire transfer for 71,000?
But no, I didn't make it, I had to sign for it, I'm sorry.
I said, you made a wire transfer. I'm in the
With
wrong
all the
seat.
money that the district keeps there, they're charging us $15 for a
Yeah,
wire.
$15. So,
The
just for
wrong
the record.
business. Don't make me pull that up, man.
Did I hear first thing? Yeah, we need to find a new bank.
Synovus is another good bank. It's in Lavelle, and they're part of our special districts.
Gotcha.
By the way, this form here, there's no way to, there's no signature line.
That might be a good thing.
That's what she sent me for the board,
Sure.
Okay?
and I'm just
Form
following it. Well, she needs your information first of all, and then she's gonna send me the signature card.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Because I need it for all five.
Okay.
Do I want a debit card too? No.
Any more comments from the board?
No, okay.
Anybody else? So with that, do we have a motion on the floor to have Becky able to take care of business
And
in
also,
South State Bank?
sorry to interrupt,
Go ahead.
Chair,
Go ahead.
we have to remove the existing signatures on South State, and we're adding all our new members. And I don't know who's on there, because she would not reveal that information to me.
So you get that information once again?
Yes, once I can get this, then I can get, that information, but if we can have that as part of the minutes to be able to remove those names and put the new board, you know, I think it,
I think only me and Mona will be the only ones from the previous board that have signatures.
I gave them both of your information, and neither one of you were on there.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I was just so dumbfounded, because it was Center State. It wasn't South State.
Gotcha.
It wasn't South State Bank. It was Center State. And Center State, I guess the information from over there did not cross over, so.
So the motion is for Becky to be able to get information from South State as well as remove the signatures, whoever's signatures from the board, previous board or board for last year as well, and whatever in their file to remove that and update it with the current board members that we have, currently serving Central County Water Control District. Do we have a motion on the floor?
Motion on the floor for that.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries, and we'll,
Thank you,
the
sir.
board members are here, get this filled out for you this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky, for that. Mr. Romero, the South Florida Water Management Environmental Resource Permit.
Yes, sir. So, great news, we finally got the environmental resource permit issued for the reservoir and the wetland issues. I'm just very quickly, I sent it to all of you
Yes.
in your emails, but I'll just go over some of the key provisions. So, we had 1.74 acres of wetland impacts. So that was, if you recall, there was a map. So
Yes, sir.
what you see here in green are the two main upland areas.
Correct.
In the reservoir.
Yes, sir.
So what we wanted to do was connect these two upland areas.
Yes, sir.
So that people can traverse back and forth, because that occupies 40%, I would say, if I had to guess, about 40%.
The bottom one's
Yeah.
a lot more than the other one that we're gonna
Yeah.
connect to. Yes, sir.
So, now, in return for impacting 1.74 acres, we also, oh, by the way, we also had impacts on 0.51 acres. So that's really about 2.3 acres of direct and secondary wetland impacts. So we had to come up with mitigation for that.
Yes, sir.
And this is why it took so long. You know, mitigation is very expensive.
It is.
We were able to convince the district to do all of our mitigation on site. So there's two mitigation areas. One of them you just voted on, and that is an 8.6 acre enhancement and preserve area. So in this area, we're going to put a conservation easement over it, and we're going to have to establish, we have a mitigation plan to remove exotics and to monitor this site for 5 years. And that site's gonna have the conservation easement. Then there's a second site, that's comprised of, 12.77 acres. And that's just, a preserve area. And that's 10 acres of wax, myrtle, and willow wetlands, and about 2 acres of what they call upland buffer, for a total of 12.7 acres. So these two areas are gonna be within this mitigation monitoring plan. And then, importantly, we have some permit conditions. So the perpetual operation and maintenance of the preserves will be the responsibility of Central County Water Control District. We're gonna have to establish a permanent elevation reference, which will be within 100 feet of all permitted discharge structures. I'm surprised we don't have that now, but, we do have that?
No, I'm surprised if we don't have it.
Yeah, but. that's-
When you say discharge structures, you're talking about the one in the back?
Yes.
The one that discharges into the
Yes.
canal system in the back? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Which we can't get to according to the map because if we got in that area, that'd be a wetland area anyway.
Yeah, so, you know, you can traverse a wetland in a truck. The problem is you traverse it every day for a period of years.
Absolutely.
But, you know,
You ain't back
I
there.
think just, we'll be okay.
Understood.
You know, we have to do a time zero monitoring report, which you would typically do. It talks about the maintenance of these areas. Okay, now, we're gonna have to have permanent physical markers designating the preserve status of the wetland preservation areas and buffer zones. And they shall be placed at the intersection of the conservation easement limits and adjacent uplands. These markers shall be maintained by Central County Water Control District in perpetuity. And then it's also requiring, and again, it doesn't really give any detail
Gotcha.
on the, exactly where and how often, but we have to put up markers delineating the wetland areas and the upland trails.
Sure.
But whether you do that on 50-foot centers or 550-foot centers, there's no specificity, so we're just gonna have to come up with
A plan.
a plan to
Yes.
do it. But, you know, this could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely.
In terms of the impact on us, and I'm thankful to the Water Management District for working with us and our consultant team, Bayer Consulting, and Mr. Dobbs
Sure.
for helping bring this across the finish line.
Can you show the map to the board, the little map that you have?
I'll circulate this.
Right, so the great thing about this is South Florida Water Management working alongside of us and our subject matter experts is, in the future, we get to show our grandchildren and our genealogy and our kids and their kids is how to coexist with wetlands, protect them, enhance them, and it's something beautiful, especially if you live out in the country. It's something beautiful that we have access, a privilege to have. So I think them giving us this second chance, maybe it could be a third chance, is I'm grateful for it. And now we just have to do our due diligence to make sure we put a plan in place that is tried and true. It's going to take money, but I believe I've heard from a lot of good people in our community that they will invest and help to make this fruition come true. So the other thing that I foresee, board and people in this community, is we'll take a phased approach at this because we don't have a budget for it. So it will be, it's time for the community to put up. So we'll definitely have to have a foolproof plan, John, in place. And I believe a phased approach. So like, for instance, tackling this first before we do this over here. And then also, it's a great opportunity for us to make our own new trails and to see, amphitheaters or whatever they allow us to do. And so I think it's pretty interesting what we were able to do, and the wildlife we'll be able to see, as well as some creative ideas that are out there. So I think it's a thank you for everybody working on this, because it wasn't easy. And as John said, they could have really laid the hammer on us. But I think since we have, how long has it not been open? 2 years, 3 years, was that?
20.
No, how long has it not been
No,
open?
I'd say 4 or 2 years. I'd
4
say-
years, at least.
At least 3 years?
Yeah.
I think it's 3.5, it
Yeah.
was close at the
And
time.
it seemed like it's healed itself?
Yeah,
From us
we
not-
closed it, that's what I'm saying, we
Right.
closed it in 2020.
Okay, so wow.
About it.
So it's pretty much healed itself, which is good, but we have to be a better steward than what we were in times past. So
Mr.
there's no-
Santiago would like to say
There's no ignorance involved anymore. Go ahead, Mr. Santiago.
So thank you, Chair. I'm 100% in agreement with what you said, and I think we should keep that same attitude with the water management by sending them a courtesy letter and, keeping them informed about how we're gonna do this in phases. Because a lot of our constituents will be glad to hear that, we're now working at getting it reopened for recreational use. And let's inform our constituents about the do's and don'ts. And let's do it together as a community, as a group, but I'm 100% on that. It's a long journey that we're almost there to the finish line, but let's keep that same relationship with them and appreciate that we have that.
And that being said, talking with subject matter experts the last couple of weeks, it's not something that we're gonna open in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. This is gonna be a while, because all this stuff has to be in place. So it's gonna be a lot of money, it's gonna be a lot of effort, and then we're gonna find out what type of community and that we have. But I think in the long run, it'll pay for itself, because what we'll be able to experience out there and what our kids and family and friends will be able to experience, I think will be awesome again. So I just want to appreciate that update. Any comments from the board? But there's nothing to vote on, right, John? You just give me an
No, sir.
update.
Probably just, I don't know if you guys wanna start maybe you, Baker, start spreading the word out, and if they wanna talk about it, maybe at the landowners meeting,
For sure.
you know, just as a discussion really, cause that's all it is right now. I mean,
Ideas?
It's the next step, but yeah.
Yeah.
Any ideas or anything like that, we can probably show them this and,
Ideas, best management practices, John, all the things that we need to have in place, maybe
yeah.
housekeeping, creative ideas.
And they can see that it's not Central County holding it or blocking it or, you know, now we got the requirements of what we need and they can see that it's, you know, it's money there, so.
Yep.
And Mr. Chair, something you and I have discussed is, you know, putting, it's up to the board, they wanna put an educational kiosk.
That would be awesome.
And you can even have, corporate sponsors.
Yes,
So,
absolutely,
you
Joe.
know, ABC Corporation proud to present this environmental wetland kiosk with, you know, photos and maybe even a little bench with a.
Like what they,
yeah.
like what they do on 75.
Exactly, we've all seen them at different parks.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a nice amenity.
Probably get Nathan Yeager.
There you go.
Out there, huh?
We have
You're the
our,
first one.
we have our first victim. We have our first
Brass
victim.
bust of me there.
Literally, I can see you,
Start with the first
statue.
one.
On a
I
horse.
can see you on a
There you go.
statue, there you go. So that's great news, thank you for everybody involved, thank you. It's been a long, patient thing, so thank you. Any other comments from the board on this as we move on? So if you would, take a look on G, look at the proposals that just came in. Becky or John, would you like to discuss it right quick? I just gotta step out for 1 minute to use the restroom. Can you speak on it?
Sure, I'll give a quick overview. So we received 3 proposed contracts, to purchase 254 Avenida del Centro, 185 Appaloosa Avenue, and 845 South Live Oak Street. And the offer for.
No, it was Dado, 565 South Dado. That's this one, Mr. Camaro,
I don't have that.
this one.
This one. You have everything there?
Oh, but what are these 3
I
contracts?
think it's just the agreement that
You
we
told me to
signed.
give you a copy of all of them,
Right.
of all 4 lands.
Those are listing agreements.
Those are our
I
listings.
thought they were the actual contracts, okay, I apologize. So we have 565 South, so there's just one, I thought there was 3 offers we received.
254 is in the works, but she didn't give us the actual contract, like she did with this, like this breakdown.
Okay, so then, right now, for tonight, there's one.
Yes,
It's
sir.
They offered $40,000 for 565 South Dato. If you look on the sheet, they have it's just an approximation of the closing costs, which you'll see, it's about $2,500.
But not on both of them, because on the second one that just came in, they don't have an agent.
Yeah, we don't have that second one, we just have, what got
She
printed
gave-
out was 565.
Right, but so if you look at your email on the one, on the second property that just came in late, that buyer, proposed buyer doesn't have an agent, so she's not gonna charge, she's only gonna charge the 2.5. The other part, which is about 1,500, will be rolled back into us because they don't have an agent.
On the offer on the second one.
Same,
No,
same.
that's not how
40
it
grand.
works anymore. Each buyer and so, we're committed to pay $500
Correct,
to the seller's agent.
gotcha.
We don't pay for the other,
So I'm saying, you have to look at, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with you. What I'm just saying, you have to pay attention to what they put in the contract, the buyer put in the contract,
Right.
that the seller pays for their agent and the other agent as well. That's in the
that's
contract.
the other one. Or is
That's-
that this one? Is that Dato?
No, that's the one on the first one that
That's
came
Avenida
through.
del Centro.
The Avenida del Centro.
Okay, yeah.
I just seen
don't
it, I'm
that
gonna
one
have it
here.
put out really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, so
Can you
the
go
one
put
I'm
it out,
talking about is Dato.
Gotcha,
$40,000, about $2,500 in closing costs. 500 of the 2,500 is the fee that we owe the seller's agent. our
Yes,
realtor, which
correct.
we agreed under the
Which is
listing
nothing,
agreement.
yeah.
The other $2,000 are miscellaneous closing costs.
Yeah, but we
including
also-
the title insurance.
We also had on the agreement, the listing agreement, that we would pay the,
no, that's their offer to us.
This one?
Yes, all that's their offer to us. That's not us, that's them giving us a contract. That's the buyer giving us a contract. That's not us.
I thought it was our
No,
agreement.
no, 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 that's their agreement, that's what they want us to agree
It
to.
gets very, let's deal with one transaction at a time. because
Absolutely.
They're different.
Yeah.
That one's different, we gotta talk about that one
Sure.
separately. This one, you have a contract, and I'd recommend that you act on it, either accept it or reject it tonight, because as you know, if you bought or sold property, they have commitments here for financing, things that they only stay in place for, I don't know, their company would typically could be up for 30 days.
Approval
So,
letter, yes, sir.
I think, yeah, I think,
It said 20 days on one of them.
yeah, some of them are 20 days, so the point being is you've got a live offer here that you need to accept or reject. That's 565 South Datil. $40,000. About $2,500 in closing costs. We would net about, $37,500. And again, those closing costs are estimated. Now, I will note to you that there's a closing fee of $800, which sounds a bit high.
Sure.
And I think probably this realtor uses a law firm that's probably located in the same building
Okay,
to do their closings. So the law, it looks like, if you see this, it looks like the law firm, Geffen Law, serves as the closing agent.
okay.
That's $800, title insurance, $230. One thing here is there's an HOA condo estoppel letter, $300, but,
See the credits it at the bottom. Did you see the last?
Correct.
yeah, okay.
It's credited. I don't think we can vote on it tonight because if what, the chair is saying about that, that's their offer on the 2.5% that we pay the buyer, then anything we do right now would just be a counter.
So yes, but, so just to clarify, we kinda, if we wanna go with this, we kinda need to approve it on a note that we're going to counter this, that, and the other.
And that they would agree on the counter.
Exactly. So again, we can add our stipulation to the counter, say, hey, I agree to this, we pay half the closing cost or none of the closing
Oh,
cost.
yeah, all this is
Yeah.
negotiable. This, what
Absolutely.
I outlined is their offer.
That's their offer, but
Now, we can say, you pay 100% of the closing
we
costs.
could,
If you
No,
want.
but you were saying we had to approve or deny the contract.
Yeah, you have to act on it because they've got a
Yeah.
live,
What,
have a
what,
lender.
and what I was saying is that what's not on this front sheet is that they're also asking for us to pay the 2.5% agent fee for the buyer.
absolutely,
which is
you're
part of their
absolutely right.
contract.
Yes.
So again, it's a contract, it's negotiable.
Yeah,
And not only that, so again, like when I do business, when I buy land, is if I'm gonna pay closing costs, I'm gonna pick my title company or law firm, whatever I choose to use, right?
Correct.
So everything's negotiable, nothing's, no contract's the same.
You can also say, for example, just to throw out ideas, we will pay up to $1,000 of the closing costs.
Could say stuff like that,
Boom.
you could.
Anything above and beyond that is on buyer.
and no buyer agent fee.
No. Well, remember, we're on the hook for 500.
Which is
regardless
nothing.
to
Which is
our
nothing.
Yeah, that's our agent.
Right.
That's our agent.
Correct.
That's a closing cost.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, correct. And
You
as
could
John
say
is, and
everything
John is
else
speaking
on-
on the first one, which is
Yes, sir.
Dato.
Yeah, we gotta deal one at a time.
Yeah, I
If we
agree.
talk about both of them, it's gonna get all mangled up.
You're absolutely correct. So if I'm not mistaken, board, so for instance, on this one, minimum that will net is 37,605, give or take, when it all crumbles on a decent estimate. Again, I don't think we pay taxes, right, to the county on properties? So most likely, when the closing is, there's gonna be no taxes,
Correct.
right?
Just fees.
Just fee, dock stamps and
Mhm.
title stuff, whatever.
Yes, sir.
So now, if the board would love to counter and say, hey, by the way, as John said, we'll pay up to 1,000, or we'll meet you halfway, or 100% on your side, we have that right and option to do it on this side. The only caveat to this is both of these buyers, but we're gonna use this one first. They have they have something from a bank, I'm not sure what the proper name is, proper name of it, but they have a,
It's a finance committee.
and that has a time frame.
Yeah.
And we only meet once a month, so it's not
It's
like,
usually 20 to 30 days.
yeah,
And by the way, you can counter, you can say, we want $100,000 for the project.
You could.
Do whatever, you think is appropriate, and that's where I would start. Does everyone agree, does everyone believe 40,000 is fair market value?
so we're asking 40, we're asking 44.5. The comps right now are 38 to 42, so it's not a bad offer. We could hold out for a couple thousand, or we could say, hey, we all win here, and we put the money in the account, and we keep moving.
Or to net the same amount, say, we'll accept your purchase price, you pay 100% of the closing costs.
You have that option as well. The board has that option as well.
That's a good avenue.
Because that'll net 2,500 right there.
But let's just say, for instance, hindsight, how long would we want to wait as well? You know what I'm saying? Again, this is all negotiable. This is all back and forth.
And if you counter, you can say, you have 10 days in receipt of our counter offer to
Yep.
accept or deny.
Absolutely.
Or counter again.
I would put a motion to counter offer by, then pay all the, closing costs. And with, 10 days,
But what selling price?
the 40,000.
So we would give them, so we would budge 4 from the actual price, but we would win, so pretty much we win 2,500 back out of that. So it's almost like
We'd be close to about 39,000.
we'll meet it like halfway, so that's about halfway.
What about the buyer's fees? You wanna throw that in there as well? Like who would pay those fees? Cause there's an agent in the mix.
All closing costs they pay.
That's what he's saying, all closing
Yeah, all
costs.
closing costs.
Including our sellers agent.
Correct, everything.
Well, so what he's saying
We
is,
net 40.
so what he's saying is, we'll
Yeah,
take,
yeah, yeah.
we'll accept the offer at 40, but
You
you're
take
gonna
care
be
of everything.
responsible for the closing
For
costs.
whatever it takes.
Everything. Closing agent,
Whatever it takes.
title policy, broker's fees, which are about $2,500.
Yeah.
Give or take, brother, give or
Give or
take.
take.
I'll second that.
Ask him if he has any questions
Do you
before we
have
put
any
this,
questions before?
put this one to vote.
No, no.
All right, so we do have a motion on the floor by Mr. Moreno to, accept the 40,000 on the condition that the buyer pay the closing cost. And,
Within 10 days.
within 10 days. We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any, okay, so we have 4 on that one. So we're clear on that one, John. So we'll accept the 40, 10 days, as well as the counter is they pay the closing cost.
Yes, sir.
So we close that one. We'll go to the next one. Do I have that one, Becky?
We don't
Yes,
have.
we just gave it to you. It's right on top.
This is just the cover sheet.
No, this is the cover sheet. I'm talking about the contract. 254, I have it right here, 254.
Yeah, this is our agreement.
No, she sent it, she emailed it, the
Okay.
contract for 254. She emailed the contract. Look in your email, she emailed the actual
Yes,
contract.
can you go back into that same email and look at her contract, please?
It's the first email that she sent.
Yes, yeah, she just printed this one out, it's open on my desktop.
So this one, I mean, the closing costs are about the
The
same.
same, yeah.
But we need to look at, well, listen, yeah, and the sales price is the same, you could take the same position here. But we
That's
don't
what I was
know
gonna say,
is what,
you know.
Mr. Cortez pointed out with the other one, which was they had proposed us paying their broker's fee. But if you take the position that, just like you did with Daytel, that on 254 Avenue del Centro, you just take the same position.
Sure.
You buyer are responsible for 100% of the closing costs, and if you are, we'll accept
say like a 10-day.
That's the same deal with the, 254, is it two? 254 Avenida Central?
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
There we go, motion.
So we have the same motion on the floor, does he have any
Do you have
comments
any
before we
comments
vote
or
on this?
questions? No, he's good.
Okay, so do we have a motion on the floor for 254 Avenida del Centro? Mr. Moreno, do you want, what is your motion, sorry?
Motion to go for 40,000, the buyer would pay all costs, within 10 days get back to us.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor to, sell 254 Avenida del Centro at 40,000. And the buyer will pay all closing costs, and that is valid within 10 days. We need it, we need it within 10 days. Do we have a second?
Okay.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. That one passes. Mr. Romero as well.
Very good. I will convey that to our Realtor, who will in turn convey it to the, buyer.
All right, moving on. Thank you for that one. District Manager?
Yes, sir. We sent out the weekly reports. I do apologize, you guys just received the last 3 of them. We had, in mowing, as you see, it's total to 136.5 miles that we mowed from, it was June 20th till present,
Okay.
18th. We've been working diligently on the culverts that are, with the water that we just received. We've actually been out looking at the culverts that have been collapsed, going to the end of the, and changing out culverts on the canal banks as well. We noticed that, what we've been doing in Siboney area, it's actually, has helped when we cleaned out all of those culverts. We still have 2 that we have to, we did that, we cleaned that out. That was a cul-de-sac, and, we fixed it on the end of the canal bank as well.
Okay.
That's another one, that's a culvert we changed out, I think that was the Soda and Horse Club that we cleaned out. So, yeah, so that's the one.
Okay.
So, and we also had the issue with the fish farm,
Oh, yes.
so.
Bring us up to speed with that. Thank you.
Yes, so, we have a fish farm off of Fronda and Horse Club that they've used the last property as their, basically their discharge pond. And what they did was they had pipes underneath leading into our canal. And you'll see, there's pictures, Henry County, we had already an open case with them for the last, I wanna say, 5-6 years, and nothing was really ever done. But I will say that this time they were able to, they're actually pressing charges. And, Mr. Dobbs came out, he helped out in the investigation with us. When we started excavating, there was a 4-inch pipe on our easement to the canal. And when we followed it through, there was another, hose leading into the canal with weights, holding it underneath water. When we uncovered it, the next day the fire department came out, they put their hoses to it, we find 5 more outlets from that same property. So that discharge goes into our canal.
Le-
Yes, sir.
Can I interrupt just for 1 second?
Mhm.
Do you have photos of that, Jose? What she's making reference to? Okay, keep going, baby.
From the fish farm. Yeah, you know what, I apologize.
I
didn't
saw
forward
the
them
ones
to-
you sent.
Yeah, I didn't forward the ones that I took
Oh,
to Kenya. But I do have them.
No problem. Keep going, baby, sorry.
So, yeah, so there are charges, one person was arrested that same day, and the owner, they're waiting for him to come from out of the country. Mr. Morales was the one that spearheaded it with Mr. Norwood, so he can actually give us more information on what's going on as of present. But did I miss anything, Officer Morales?
No, so we did issue the search warrant. We went, we dug up. Now, he did have time between Sunday, which is, I believe, or the Friday that we went. He had that whole weekend, and then we served it on the Tuesday. He showed us the line, the pipe that we put water through. We used the fire department to put water through the line, and we could see like blobs of mud and everything coming up in the retention pond. And then when we went with him, he dug it up with his own machine, and ironically, it showed up that it was cut at the very top of the levee. But it doesn't really make sense, because when you put water through it, if there's movement in the retention pond, obviously it's all connected. So what happened in between that time, we're not sure. We did the search warrant in his residence. During that, we found a map, like a picture, an overhead picture of the pond itself, and there were circles drawn into it, basically right where those blobs came up. So, Norwood, the last thing I said, Norwood, he was gonna review the previous case, just to be 100% sure, because he kept stating that those lines were there from the last time, he just never removed them, and, you know, he just keep going back and forth with that. So Norwood's gonna review all the old stuff, and we'll go from there, but it's gonna get sent to the state once we get all that information together.
I'll comment after you finish the report.
And, so we have been running the pumps. We're actually working inside the canals as well. There's a lot of sand that has shifted, so, the guys have been diligently working on that. Following the rain, we've been unclogging a lot of the culverts. We're actually putting stakes out on properties to let the owners know that they are responsible for cleaning out the culverts as well. And we're going through, and if they're collapsed and they do have a permit, we are making them aware, okay, to please call the office so we can get updated information. As, you know, there's a lot of turnover on properties, a lot of new people, they don't know we exist over here. They don't even know that they were supposed to change their information in our office as well. So it's kind of nice because we educate everybody as they're coming in, you know, and they are very polite as well. We actually had, Mr. Dobbs, we've been working with, Ovid on our grant, Culpepper and Turpin. So that's moving along, and he can touch base on that. I won't go into details. He can, and we've been working also with the county on Pump 12, and he can talk on the permit and all that. So just working on, I'm gonna bring up the culverts with an Avenida de Centro. When we're prepping on Avenida de Centro, club with Rita, I think it was, the road, we were boom mowing it, and what we noticed, and Jose and Luis had brought up, and they mentioned it, was that the culverts are collapsed, and then our chair also called me, like, Beck, there's no culverts here underneath the road, that the water sits there, so it floods from 833 down this way, and those roads completely underwater. So that's something, and then, again, with our master plan, chair as well. Question, Mr. Famiro, remember when I sent you the book, that you were gonna have it digitally, scanned? Way back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You wanted to go back?
you said,
Go ahead, John.
you talk about the water control plan?
Yes, our water control fund?
Yeah, I checked with Steve, he's looking to see if we have that digitized.
Okay.
1 minute. Jose, can you bring me that map of, you remember the map that we did all the, that we started with the pins, that we did all the millings? Can you bring that map in here so we can show the board, an issue that, I don't know why we haven't noticed this, but we definitely have a big problem that we have to get corrected. And Mr. Dobbs, we're gonna need your input.
Mhm.
But good, keep on.
So, we have 29 permits, 18 new permits, 11 existing. That means that new owners came in and they purchased a pre-existing, property. So again, we're still growing.
Absolutely.
We're growing, so, and, we finished our summer camp
Successful.
successfully. We went to the Marlins game with them today. They enjoyed it.
Good.
They had an awesome time,
Good to hear.
What
and,
was the score?
3-2.
yeah,
3-2 Marlins.
yep, we won. So, but they were so excited. There was so many campers out there from like all different walks of life.
It's a great experience for them.
And they loved it. The kids loved it.
Good.
So, and they enjoyed it.
What's the age group?
From 5 to 14.
You just set it right there for a minute. Go ahead, Becky. I'll finish, when I do the report, I'll bring it up.
Yes, sir. So, and we've been using Cold Patch, and I know we're working on our budget, so, right now,
All right.
I mean, yeah.
Gotcha.
it is.
So any questions? Thank you, Becky, for your report. Any questions for the manager and her report?
I got a question.
Go right ahead.
Yes, sir.
I think a few months ago, we looked at the open permit list. Has that been updated? Have we worked on that at all?
Good question. When he says open permits, he's talking about the culverts, I'm assuming, right?
Open
Culverts.
permit on the culverts. I
The
think
ones
you,
that haven't closed out.
you had some that were really old. I think we were gonna come up with a deadline and kind of just give them, courtesy calls and,
So what I did was Arnold, he's the one that does the elevations with Minnie. I gave them the list and he's been working on it, so as he's doing elevations, if there's one of them there, he's targeting it. Now, this is the other thing. There was, I think there was one or two, that when we went to call, the property is no longer under that person's name. It was sold, but it was still open. And I closed it. As a matter of fact, somebody called in about the property, and they were the new owners. And I said, that was just something that it showed up, and it was from 2001. And again, a lot of those details were from the old book that we had as well.
yeah.
But even from the most, the ones within our time, same thing. We're noticing that some of them have been, 2017 was another one that they called, and it was a new owner as well. So,
Can you bring a updated list on for
Sure.
the next meeting so we can look at it?
yes.
And then my other question, I know we talked about the equipment list. Do we have an
Oh,
update on that?
Yes, it's almost done.
Okay.
I do have it. It was just,
I think it was due this fiscal year, right? Is that the due date, from Earl?
I do it every year. We have to turn one in every year.
He's making reference to what the auditor,
Yeah, because
the auditor information that needed to be in.
because the auditor mentioned there was a lot of stuff that still hadn't been kind of updated that we were just
And
kind
input.
of.
Okay, yeah,
Like
so
basically
it was
cleaning
the
up.
the removal of the old, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's just, I'll bring it to you guys.
Okay.
Okay, you'll have it. I can even forward it by email to you once it's done, okay? You guys can review it. Because we did a true inventory of everything.
That's all I
Yeah,
have.
we need to give our new treasurer that audit,
Sure.
because one thing that just reminded me when Mr. Cortez is just the timing of when we've submitted the information to the auditor has been late. In years past, we've been out of cycle, so to speak. It'd be good if we can now get our new treasurer to get back into the cycle. We have a very good auditor, Jeff Tustin, very familiar with the district. In fact, you'd probably be at some point, I know you have a lot going on, but at some point introducing an auditor to our treasurer.
When do they usually start asking for documentation?
Well, they started late. It wasn't us. Tuscan was the one that started later. Because normally, by January, the beginning of January, is when he's requesting stuff from us.
How is it gonna work this year, like, with the stuff that John and Marie have done?
they can, John and Marie can supply us with whatever we need. Marie said she's still available to help us. So she said if, we needed to, Dina, we could reach out to her and she would be more than happy.
What kind of stuff do they normally ask for? Is it like invoices, checks, copies?
Yeah,
like
it's, they'll
access?
give us a list, and it's normally asking if we posted our budget on a timely manner on our website, did we report it to the, Henry County, I can show you what they sent us, and then you can see it. I can share that with
They
you.
look at the asset list.
Yeah, the asset list, and yes. Then they'll ask, for a few questionnaires from the board members, so, and.
It'll probably be good if, you can probably introduce yourself to him now, that way you don't get caught in a bind later.
Exactly.
You know, you're prepared on what he'll probably want, or, you know.
Yes, I could see their list from last year. and stuff.
Yeah, I'll share that with you. I can forward it to you, because they sent it by email, so I'll send it to you.
So they usually start in January. When do they have like a draft audit? Do they provide you with a draft, the board approves that, then the final? When do they usually provide the draft? Or when do you usually,
It was
Want it
approved by the board, what, 2 months ago?
Yeah,
Yeah,
May, June.
yeah,
when do they
May,
But that
usually
was,
supposed to?
but that was not for the prior fiscal year, it was for the fiscal year before that. It was a year off.
Oh, we work for that, so.
no, we did it for 2024.
The auditor mentioned something about needing to get information sooner.
Again,
Yeah.
Give them a call.
the
Yeah,
email that, yeah, I'll let you, we can talk with Jeff. But a lot of the information, like I said, they send out the email normally in the beginning of January. That's when I normally seen it, since I've been here for the last 7 years.
And then when does the board usually like to have the draft for approval? Like a month, 2 months?
At least 3 months.
So you guys like it by April or sooner
Yeah.
than April?
Soon, if possible.
Mhm.
I know you have a lot of stuff on your plate, but since that,
I think the deadline's what, June?
Seems kind of long, I was thinking. I don't know how much they ask for, but other places it's usually like a month or 2.
find out.
It has to be approved by June.
I think it was June, right, John?
Yes.
At the latest, yes.
Like for the
By the
final.
30th, June 30th.
June 30th, yeah.
Cutoff. Because you have July 1st, and then you have October's.
Yep.
That was it. Okay. Okay. Mhm.
We ready?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Moving on, engineers report, thank you, Becky.
Okay, review and approve 5 electric permits, attended the on-site meeting with Hinton County for the Florida Comment Grant, and the grant writers. We're doing Zoom calls with the resiliency grant and grant writers. Also coordinated with the Water Management District on the status of the above ground impoundment. I had an RAI, answered that back, and, when I talked to them, they were in the process of writing the permit up. So, once they get it written up, they have to pass it around for signatures, we should have that any day, and that's for the 12th pond. So, do you have the plans from Culpeper Trucking? Do you have the plans from Culpeper Trucking?
Are you talking to Diane?
Whoever's running that.
I think that's just a loop, they're not putting up anything.
Yeah, that's just a loop.
Yes,
Did we not show it,
which ones?
had the plans for Culpeper, from Culpeper Trucking? So we could show it and show the board.
I think that's what I printed out. I'm sorry.
did tell me they got 100% of the perimeter road survey.
Good.
They're working on those plans. They have the 12th pump or 13th pump. And I told them the format that I used for the 12th pump should work well for them. You know, one of the things, and this, you know, so when I had a conversation with the reviewer from the Water Management District, they were like, typically an above ground impoundment has an emergency overflow. Okay, when it gets up to a certain level, it starts overflowing and coming back on your property so that you know, okay, I need to stop pumping. And I explained to them that we don't have that, okay, because we are a water control district and we have staff. And the permit, prior to you going to the elevation 31.5 that, you know, you paid for with bond or whatever, to get it, to finalize the final grade at 31.5, you were only able to pump up to elevation 24, okay? Now that you have it at 31.5, you can pump it up to elevation 26, okay? And I told her that, you know, I said, look, we have people, I said, so the 12th pump will be 300,000 gallons a minute. And I said, you know, if I had to have a control structure for 300,000 gallons a minute, that's a big control structure. And I'm like, that's just not gonna happen. And I said, we have staff, and we've got an elevation, and we monitor that elevation throughout the storm, and, you know, we have to stop pumping when we get up to elevation 26. So, and she was good with that. And, you know, she was good with that explanation. I put it in, you know, RAI. So using that same thought process, and I've talked to Culpeper Turking, and we're going to use that same thought process with the 13th pump, okay? And you know, my comment is, we have 15 pumps. You know, we're just going to get to 26 faster, and then we're going to have to shut everything off. You know?
Correct.
So, like I say, if we had 20 pumps out there, who cares? You know, we have an elevation we got to pump to, we monitor it, it's on us.
So are they assuming that we don't do that?
No, they were good with that.
Okay.
They were good with that, you
Good.
know, and
It
again,
is
it is a requirement in the
it's
permit.
in the rules.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That all reservoirs, because what happens is the structural integrity of the dike
Yeah.
is compromised. So before that happens, you have a
Absolutely.
blowout, you know, you have the
right,
overflow.
right. But we don't have one.
Plus, this one is so oversized.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
Like,
It is. I mean, 24 was probably 6 inches of water over the whole thing.
Mhm.
You know, now we go to 26 and we're 2.5 feet of water over the whole thing. So it's, you know, anyway, they were good with it. They're going to issue the permit. So that, like I say, we're up to speed with that. We're working on that, trying to get all that taken care of. You know, working closely with Hinton County. You know, as soon as we get that permit, they're ready to go with installation of the 12th pump and
Good.
the upgrade of, you know, the other pumps.
Good.
So, I came, like Becky said, I came down with the fish farm, you know, do the investigation. The sheriff's officer asked me to come down, Norwood, and so I met with him, just give him an engineer's explanation of, you know, what we were looking at, you know, with the culverts and all that kind of stuff. I gave him a document, you know,
Like a report? Statement?
Statement, that's what I was looking for.
Gotcha.
It was escaping me. So, and I've still got a little, he's either gonna come up, we still gotta get together, we gotta finalize all that, and we're gonna get together whenever he needs to get together. So, yesterday when I was here, we were talking about, the inch of asphalt versus the inch of, there you go. So that's the Canal One improvements, which now they have all the survey for that.
For their reload. It's loaded.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Keep going, go ahead. That
So-
might take care of it.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about the 1 inch of asphalt and the 1.5 inch of asphalt.
Sure.
Yesterday and all this kind of stuff. So I just wanted to give you this, the piece of paper
Oh,
with
yes,
yellow on
yes,
it.
yes, yes, yes.
Is called, this is what they call a structure number. So I get called from time to time, it's like, hey, you've got 1.5 inches of asphalt and 8 inches of base and 12 inches of subgrade.
Mm-hmm.
But all my subgrade is wet, I wanna put, 14 inches of base and, so I use this to say, and you get a curve number, you get a structure number out of it, so 3.06. So if you look at the asphalt, for every inch, it's 0.44, which is the structure number.
Gotcha.
And so like the one up top is 1.5 inches of asphalt, 8 inches of base, and 12 inches of stabilized subgrade.
Gotcha.
The second one is 2 inches of asphalt, 7 inches of base, so we lost a whole inch of base,
Correct.
but we only added a 1/2 inch of asphalt.
Understood.
And, we still stay at the same structure number.
Gotcha.
So, and again, you guys were asking about it last night, and I just wanted to give you a visual representation of what you go through to, and, like I say, and with this spreadsheet, you can go through and somebody says, hey, I wanna do 3 inches of asphalt and 6 inches of base, and,
Understood.
you can say, yep, it's equivalent, that's fine,
So,
and
go ahead.
when,
No, keep going. I'll be quiet.
so, the other thing was the maintenance of way, or maintenance of traffic. So this is DOT's maintenance of traffic, the first 6 sheets or so, basically just defines all of the things that are required, the signage, the barricades, and all that kind of stuff. And then in the back, I got down to the two that you're probably going to be using most. And that is a 2-lane, no, it looks like I took the wrong one out. It was a 2-lane traffic, I'll get this updated, I apologize. And then an intersection. So the very, very last page is the intersection. This one is supposed to be a 2-lane, showing you how to set the barricades up for the 2-lane.
Sure.
When you're doing that, obviously I picked the wrong sheet to pull out of the set.
It's all right.
So anyway, I'll work with Becky, we'll get this set up. Oh, here's the 2-lane, I do have a 2-lane in there, I have too many in there. So this is the 2-lane, barricade, so when you're doing work in, 1 lane and you have to shut it off and how to barricade it and the signs that are supposed to be put up there.
The MOTs and stuff.
Yep, MOT.
Gotcha.
So this is whenever we're doing our patching and
Yeah,
stuff like
For
that.
sure.
Right.
For safety reasons, yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Any type of work.
Okay.
Not even just us, if contractors are doing work,
Yeah.
they need to be following the same kind of, we need to, that's what I'm saying, we need to implement this and then we need to follow these procedures here going forward. Not just letting the outside people, but us, we need to follow our
Yeah.
procedures as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's good.
Oh, so here, this is the pump link, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, so this is the water control structure plans. Like I said, they're not 100% yet, but they are working on them. And I just want to show you guys progress. It's been a while since they've been here. I got in contact with them. They gave us the updated
That's
plans.
9 and 10 area, right?
Yes,
sir.
8, 9, 8,
Yes.
Yes.
9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Let me ask you this, Mr. Dodd, with that being said, some of the stuff that some of our team, I think Jose was one of the main ones, making it happen for us. Jose, I believe it was on 4, 5, and some other areas, instead of pumping down that canal system, now we're able to go directly into the reservoir. Has that helped any in alleviating some of the issues and our pumps working against each other, that type of stuff? Have we noticed anything good or bad or indifferent? Did we do good? Did we, hey, by the way, it's not working, or do we know anything right now?
It is working. It is working. When the dry season starts up again though, we would like to go and
clean it out a little bit,
Yeah.
so
On
it
the-
flows better?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. Cause there's that whole berm still on the other side where they dug it and they threw the material.
Sure.
We were able to, where the pumps are, which was our main concern,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
were able to work that. Now we need to come and do where they actually dug the, inner canal. So,
Because, the reason I'm saying it, because this season, we seem to be better off than any season before that I've noticed. And kudos to not Public Works, but kudos to Central County and the staff and everybody involved. But I don't know if that had something to do with it, or all the cleaning that we've done, or a combination of all the stuff that we have.
I think it's
We
a
have tackled.
combination of everything, Chair.
Okay. But I know up in the front side, we're not like in seasons past right now. And I think that's pretty impressive. Keep going, I'm sorry, Mr. Scott.
No, like I said, I just wanted to show you the plans and that we are working.
Thank you.
Working with them and all that kind of stuff, so,
Good, we look forward to that project.
yeah. I mean, it's nice to hear about it, whole different thing to see it.
Can you pull up that fish farm area while we're here on Google Maps? John, I wanted, forgive me, board, right quick, I wanna mention something before I forget my train of thought. Mr. Famero, I know, you probably weren't aware of too much of it, and I'm gonna ask the board to think about this, but I believe it is wise for us to, in some fashion, John, is to file a lawsuit against this fish farm for illegal dumping into our system, as well as recoup all the man hours that we've had to deal with in those few days working out there, because all of our operation had to stop to address this issue of this fish farm right here. But they were pretty much illegal dumping into our canal. And I don't know what we can do, but I definitely would like to see what we can do, because those type of practices shouldn't be done here in Central County, because this practice is not only hurting the neighbors, but also putting it into our water system.
So you're right, I don't know anything about this. So they were discharging wastewater?
It was,
So
yeah, the effluent from the fish, the
This
fish,
is the retention pond right here.
the waste from the fish, they were discharging it into the,
Can you zoom out a little bit where we can show us the canal as well?
The canal's right there,
canal's
sir.
right there.
Okay, so this fish farm, go ahead, I'll let you.
Mr. Chair, what's the name of this one?
This is off from,
Misterios, Misterios,
I've
Yes.
had interactions with them.
yes.
this has been a, yes, exactly.
so what we found right here in this corner was the,
Quarry
there was a 6-inch sewer pipes coming out attached to a 4-inch PVC pipe. And of course, when I was here, we could only go up to the right.
Correct.
The sheriff's office got a search warrant so they could go up on the property. And that's when the fire department came out and connected to that, you know, what we had sticking out in our right of way. We shouldn't have been there anyway. But we pulled all that out and, like I say, one poor guy, the guy that was working there, I guess, I don't think he owned the place, but, you know, he got arrested and, one of the people, I have an intern, she came down with me, and she goes, he got arrested, he just works here? I said, he's just a small fish. So they can get the big fish to come in.
So one of the problems, Mr. Famero and the board is, they have a zero discharge permit.
Correct.
They're not allowed to discharge into our system, and they have been doing it, and they haven't been a good steward, for a while, and it happened again. And this time, I wish you had the pictures.
I did send them in an email
Okay.
to
I've
all
seen
the
them.
board members.
I've seen it, and you
I
guys
saw them.
hopefully did see them.
That's
Yes,
all.
and
So-
yes, I included you in their,
When was this?
There was a,
Last week.
last week.
so there should be a report, but please look at it, because I definitely would like to possibly, as a board, speak with the board. Possibly, I don't know if we need to press charges or do something, because this operation has
I
been
can look
running
at the
illegal for
pictures.
quite a while.
I remember maybe 3 or 4 years ago,
That same
we
one.
reported them to FDAX.
Right.
Because, you're right,
If
Their
that
permit-
does that,
yeah, their
agricultural
permit,
permit, yeah.
prohibits them from discharging wastewater off-site. And to my surprise, FDAX was very responsive. Within days, they sent a site inspector, they got cited, but it was a slap on the hand, it was apparently didn't result in much.
But again, it's been continual, continues to do this, and as we continue to grow, this practice has to be, we can't tolerate anymore, so I'd like to ask the board if they would, to put some teeth into this, and for us to go after this player, because this is not the only fish farm in Monterey Ranch, and I'm hoping that the other ones do run a clean operation, but this one seems not to be cooperating. And this is some of the pictures, John, that was taken that day. This one doesn't seem to be cooperating or playing by the rules.
Yeah. I had to go on.
But again, they'll forward you that report, John. Look at it, and if that's some of the stuff that they uncovered, what was going on in that canal. And you can tell by the vegetation also in that canal what was going on. You can tell by some of the, you can tell the nutrients were there.
I can tell you right off the bat, again, if the board chooses, I can sue them, and based on that, if they have a high likelihood of success of getting an injunction, a permanent injunction from any discharges. In that scenario, the court retains jurisdiction, so if it ever happens again, you can literally get a court order in 24 hours. And we can also go after them for damages.
And again, there was some damage. I don't know if Becky has that, but we definitely had a lot of manpower out that day. And we definitely, there was way too much manpower out there for us to sweep that under the rug.
So, Becky, just let me know, because you never want to spend $8 to get $6 back.
Absolutely.
But you will cause pain, and getting an injunction in and of itself will be useful now and in the future.
Gotcha. So hopefully, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Chair.
No, you go ahead.
You know, one of the requirements in this aquaculture permit is if you follow the rules, there's a presumption of compliance with the water management district criteria, okay? They were out of, can we do something with the water management district as well, John? Have them come out and show it to them and show them that they were discharging and they're not supposed to be, and they're out of compliance with their aquaculture permit. I don't know if the water management district has any more teeth than.
Yeah, they don't. By law, all aquaculture falls under FDAX. So they get their drainage and their industrial wastewater approval.
I understand.
from FDAX.
Like I said, by getting that permit, there's a presumption of compliance with water management district
Correct.
criteria.
Right.
They were not following their permit, so they were out of compliance with water management district criteria.
100%, but the permitting agency is FDAX. So we can do that, but
Okay.
it's gotta be directed to FDAX. They have an aquaculture
Yeah.
division.
I've done a couple of them, and I just, like I said,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's, in addition, litigation costs money. But if you wanna pursue it, we can pursue it. On a concurrent track, we can, as we have done in years past, is get a package together, send it to FDAX, that says, you guys gotta get out here, see an inspector.
But they only do it once a year, though.
No, every time I've reached out to FDAX,
Yeah,
they
but
send out an inspector.
I understand, but the thing is, the problem is, they only come out once a year to inspect these type of operations.
Right, unless you.
The only
ask
reason
them.
this came up is there was a complaint from a community member.
Yeah.
So again, they can run 364 illegally, so to speak. Or unless somebody, calls and shows them, what's going on. Just, see something, say something. But definitely, if you look through the past of this operation, they haven't been playing above board, and that can affect our water
These
quality.
guys have been chronic
Exactly. So it's not like, I know Hendry counties and these agencies have been trying, but they seem not to. Yeah. So I think as a board, I think we would like, again, I'm not speaking for the whole board, but I definitely present something to us, see what we can do, because we need that to stop. Any comments from the board on that, so we can continue with this, continue with Mr. Dobbs's, report?
Do they get a rezoning when they set up a fish farm?
That happened a long time ago, that was approved a long time
So they
ago.
got
So they're grandfathered in?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
all those existing uses. So by the way, if a hurricane came and 50% or more got built, they couldn't rebuild,
Right.
but they're grandfathered, those uses.
But those practices are not allowed either.
Absolutely not.
Right. So again, if they continue to be bad players one by one, they'll be shut down, because they have to comply. But that's why it's so important for us as community members to know what's going on in our community. So again, that was approved. They had to physically, they had to go through all the loops to get it approved through Hendry County, and it was. But again, maybe the other farmers are working legitimately, which I want, but this one seemed to, not follow, continue to be a bad player. Go ahead, Mr. Dobbs, anything else?
That was it.
Any questions from the board to Mr. Dobbs? In our engineer's
No.
report?
I got a question.
Good.
So I know you're gonna work with Becky on this one.
Yeah,
Will you be working with Becky on this one as well?
I can,
Yeah, because, I mean, I would like to, so that we can get a formal, RFP kind of process.
Yeah, oh yeah, RFP for, absolutely,
Yeah.
we can do that.
Again, I'm not questioning our vendor, I just would like to have something from internal from our engineer that says, I looked at the road myself, this was, I agree with those recommendations,
Right.
but kind of a formal RFP of what we expect as far as the striping and everything else that, I think it'll just make it easier for any vendor that wants to quote,
Okay.
All right, anything else? Mr. Moreno, any questions?
No, not for the,
None said. Moving on, we'll get our attorney's report, sorry.
Yes, sir, just, real quickly, so worked on the conservation easement, with Mr. Dobbs, and spent a lot of time going over the ERP, the staff report, the conditions. We had a few questions which we directed to the district. Worked with the district manager on a legal opinion regarding district procurement policies and, how special districts are treated, CCNA and things of that nature, and when we should go through a competitive procurement process.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, just on some personnel/termination matters.
Gotcha. All right, any questions for the attorney?
Is that number 4 related to the guy from last meeting?
Yes.
Can you share an update on that, or is he back, is he not back, or?
I reached out to him, I haven't heard back from him.
we have phone or text or your?
I texted him, and it shows that he read it, but he hasn't answered me,
And
so.
follow with register, receive letters back to him?
To do that.
That way, you have, documentation that you reach out, certified letter. Same email, if you send a text email, the same one, send it over.
Email,
Yeah, he doesn't have an email.
yeah.
Whatever
Somebody
flow.
else emailed for him, so it's not like a direct email contact to him.
Then,
And
So-
certified letter.
certified letter then.
And then, number 2, can you kind of enlighten us on that one a little bit?
Sure. Now that we're doing all these projects that we've been talking about, there's a question over what do we go through a formal RFP or RFQ process for all of these? If we break some of these down, at what point do you go through that? Because, the RFP/RFQ process takes a huge amount of staff time, the engineer and the attorney, to put these solicitations together. Then you get all the proposals, you have to review the proposals, have a review committee. It's a substantial work effort. Special districts don't have to procure everything. You could set dollar thresholds. You could, I mean, for example, you could say anything over $100, you have to go through a competitive process, or 100,000 or 200,000. You can set thresholds, and I think as we get into this new era where money is coming in and we're spending on some, projects, all different sizes, I think it was good for Becky and I to talk about that, because I think we're gonna have to bring back to you some ideas about setting thresholds. And by the way, in competition, so like the top one is a formal RFP solicitation. I have governmental clients that say, anytime you're gonna spend more than $2,500, get at least 2 bids or 3 bids. They could be by phone. There's a whole slew of different types of procurement policies. We have 0.
Yeah.
And so it would probably be a good time to start developing some.
And that's, I don't know if this is related to my question from yesterday, but that's kind of where I was going with that. We got a quote from a vendor to asphalt or resurface a road, $274,000. But it's kind of like 3-4 items on the quote. I would like to see more detail, and I think when we quote out other vendors, it'll make it a lot easier if we internally tell them what we're looking for versus a vendor telling us, here's what I think you need, right? That's why I'm asking for an engineer to kind of scope out the job.
So he's asking is we, with our subject matter expert, develop the scope of work, instead of allowing that person, that vendor, tell us what they're gonna do.
Yes, and I'll tell you, as a practice, if you don't put out the specs, and it doesn't have to be an RFP, that.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't put out the specs and you get more than one proposal, sometimes it's apples and oranges.
And that's what happened
you
last
can't
year.
Compare them.
That's what happened last year with the same
One guy is
project.
building a Chevy, the
Yeah.
other guy is building a Cadillac, and you can't.
Yeah, and that's really where, because I mean, I know the vendor that we looked at yesterday, he does great work. So it's not, I just want to make sure that we can compare. It's no different than when we're looking at the budget. When I was asking about the different line items, I wanted to where we can all look at it and actually make sense out of it, and not just say, okay, I think that's worth 274, right? So that way we can compare and actually make our decision based on what, comparing apples to apples.
Yeah, and are you familiar with piggybacking, what that is?
We are.
So, I don't know if we've ever piggybacked, but for example.
We have on the trucks.
Yeah, so Hendry County, for example, if they have a road contractor, let's say American Asphalt is doing a project, that contract, they're doing, per, quarter mile, they're charging X based on these specs.
Yes, sir.
You can piggyback to that contract, because the problem is we never do things on the scale that we're gonna get a great deal.
Correct.
So a lot of times for a district like this one, you get a lot more bang for your buck if you try to piggyback. So let's say the county is doing, a 3 or 4 mile road project. You look at that proposal, and you go to American Asphalt and say, hey guys, we have a half mile, but would you honor these same terms for us? A lot of times they will, especially if they're already mobilized, their equipment,
So that,
their manpower is here.
so what you just said is key though, John. Nobody's gonna come to rural Montura if they're not already mobilized.
Correct.
So for instance, if they're resurfacing 80 right now, or they're getting ready to do 833 because there's a bad area, then it would make sense, but we have to move with the quickness because they're mobilized. We already have to have things in place, money set aside, pull the
Ready to
trigger.
go.
We have to be ready to go, because no Ajax, Cougar, Weekly Brothers, they're not going to mobilize just to do a mile, a half a mile, because.
Or you'll pay through the nose.
Right, but if they're already in the area, hey, by the way, I'm already finishing up some work, boom, boom, I've got my team here, boom, I can see them offering, but we have to have our mechanisms in place to move,
Yes, sir.
because we're not like, in a city area. And to mobilize from where they're at, their home to ours is not that easy. But if they're already here, I can see them making it happen. Or we use smaller companies that can, you know, meet our needs.
Yeah, which I'm good with that. Again, I just wanna
Apples to apples.
have an RFP, even if we don't go through that process, but just something for us to kind of look at and for them to be able to quote, you know, that way, if I'm one of the vendors submitting a quote, I can check every box and say, okay, I submitted my requirements, you know. That way, if I do get the contract, there's no question as to what, you know, because sometimes there could be, oh, we agreed on it in person, I told you I would, you know, you would throw this, or I would add that, or, you know, it just, I think it would help out when you're spending that kind of money.
Any more questions from the attorney? Now, forgive me, Dina, can we give us your treasury report? Sorry about that.
Don't really have anything different from last night. If anybody has any questions on the numbers, I can try to answer most of them, but it would kind of just be looking through, kind of last night, how when you ask questions, I can tell you who the vendor was.
Gotcha. So one thing that I would like to see, Becky, and probably the board, because I think any board, we're a little afraid when there's actual cash, right? Because, you know, anything can happen. So we have vending machines that accept cash. I believe we accept cash when we do, culverts and stuff as well as
Yes,
checks.
Mhm.
So I'd like to make sure, Dina, that all that is captured and that we have receipts and we have checks and balances for that.
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't want anybody to be singled out. I want to make sure that we have good quality control on that data if possible. I don't want anybody to be tempted to make a mistake.
How is the vending machine money like collected and what is the process now?
The staff will collect it and then they'll send it to me in an envelope and then I do the deposit slips. Well, me and Kenya count the cash and we
Is there
deposit it.
anything on like a vending machine that tells you how much money was put in to know you're getting that much money?
No, I don't think that one does that.
Right, second balance.
Yes.
I just like, I think as a board, I try to make everything done with a check or credit card or something, but there are some areas where we have cash. But I just want to check some balances because I don't want to tempt anybody or somebody to make a mistake. And, you know,
Agreed.
so if we could, make sure that we get that covered, so there's no issue.
On the permit, do they pay cash or credit card when full permits?
Checks, they could checks, money order and cash.
Okay, I also suggest you eliminate the cash, either checks or credit cards. Okay, that
We
less
can do that as a board as well.
on your head.
We'll just have to up the fee for the credit card.
So there's a
To pay
transaction
the,
fee.
yeah, the transaction
Yeah,
fees.
yeah, just put it in your,
3.5%.
Yeah.
put it into your, credit card
We
company.
get one of those square,
I have it.
yeah.
That's what we use for the golf tournament.
That's correct.
So,
So, yeah, then, again, we're starting brand new, Dina, so,
Mhm.
you'll get input from us, but if something doesn't make sense, the numbers don't match up, let us know, because there's probably, you know, some stuff that you don't know why it's not matching up, and also, there are some things that are running from 2 fiscal years, and that's why some of the numbers don't add up. But we appreciate you guys being on board, and, we look forward to working with you to make it better. Any questions?
yeah,
Go ahead.
let's go back, I mean, talked about yesterday about the 100,000, the 350,000, and the 390 for the Brookfield Road, and the 100,000 for what, what the 100,000 for?
Was for the asphalt
Capital.
road.
The asphalt. Can we just lump sum those two figures, and then below that, break down asphalt, lime rock, whatever may be the case? That way, give us an idea of where we spend the money, not having two different figures, and
I think you'll have that now. With QuickBooks, it'll be in the memo field and then I can easily answer if you're like, hey,
like line items, you know, for,
you don't want your chart of accounts, cause this is already long, 6 pages, we're gonna add equipment stuff for reports to be easily ran, but reports by memo can be ran. So I can, if we set a dollar amount of like the maintenance road, if it gets over 25,000, I can print a report that shows by the memo, this was for lime rock, this was for the things we did.
give us an idea, you know, of where we spend the money, not just have to
separate.
Yeah, that's just me and Becky coding the
Okay.
invoices.
And I'll tell you, doing that coding would be a
Oh,
big step
Clear.
forward.
yeah.
Any more?
Do you have a set dollar amount that you would want that report for? Cause running it for every single account would be a lot of information I'm giving every month. So it's like when you get to 50% of a budget line item, do you want that report? Or if it's, you know, you get over $100,000 in an
I
account?
would suggest a benchmark of 25%, 50%, 75%. That would give us an idea where we at as we go. That's my idea.
Okay, so whatever line item gets to 25 when I print
Be the
monthly
first,
reports,
yeah.
have it for that account.
Correct.
You want to know that?
All right. Thank you. Any more questions for the
No, I'm good.
report? I just we're gonna go into our managers, our supervisor report, but I wanna bring up an area of concern. So, we took a trip yesterday with our engineer, and we looked at conveyance along 833. He's gonna get with the county to see what's going on. But if you look right here, here's Avenida del Centro, and here is the main road that goes Avenida del Club, right? This is our main entrance. So all the water that captures here and this whole corridor to here, Jose, as well as Becky, you can confirm this if you would, it has nowhere to go.
Correct.
And the light bulb just clicked on me yesterday for the first time, driving around, it was like, oh my God. So that is the reason why, if you look here at this store, when it rains,
So it's flooded.
it floods all here
Yeah.
and there, but it stays trapped because
Yeah.
there's nowhere to go.
Where
So,
is the outlet supposed to be?
don't know. So, as a board, we have to figure out, and this, I'm just gonna give my 2 cents, Steve, Mr. Dobbs, is I believe it would be wise if we did it from here, from the south side, take a culvert to the north side, and utilize this canal for this only one reason. This is a paved road. Avenida del Club is a paved road. This is a dirt road. When you can see, there's not many houses and people living in this area. But if we disturb this area, this water would have to travel this way to this canal and travel this way. Am I correct on that one?
Yes, sir.
But if we could pitch this to come across Avenida del Centro going north, if it's possible, we wouldn't inconvenience a lot of people compared to this major road that we have. If you get a chance, please drive around this area. You will see what I'm talking about. There's no water moving. So the more it rains, all this water is gonna sit right here. It has to evaporate, or as the water table moves, all this will continue to be saturated.
And that's the gas station and the
This is
store?
the gas station
That's
right
what
here.
floods.
Yes, all this area floods really, really bad, and this whole area. So I believe our team has been trying to uncover something.
Yes.
I don't know if they have, but you can, let's say for instance, they do uncover something.
What's that?
It's
Yes,
too-
sir.
It's too low.
Yeah.
It's too low. It's not at its right grade because it's not draining right now. So I don't know, Mr. Dobbs, what can be done in this area, but we definitely need to take a look because I just think we just had an aha moment, at least I did yesterday, is how are we going to relieve these constituents that are building in this area now?
Does 833 have any roadside swales?
No.
No? No?
Not on this side. Now, everything is blocked.
So there's a dam then, so 833 is a dam?
833 is a dam.
Right. Okay, there's culvert 1.
So, and Mr. Dobbs will work on that, trying to get some clarification. But when this comes to our side, it's got nowhere to go. It literally has nowhere to go. Right, Jose? And I don't know if there's any other area, but I was like, oh my God. wastewater, all in this area cannot go anywhere. And I know this wasn't designed that way,
Yeah.
so.
Well, and very quickly, you're gonna have another 50,000 gallons a minute going into that reservoir.
So I just wanted to bring that attention to the board.
We just have to get it to a canal so that it can be put into the reservoir.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet you, if you, is this north up there?
Yes.
So, yeah, this is north.
I bet you
This is
water
the-
flowed to the west, historically, it looks like wetland, low-lying areas.
So it looks like, according to our conversation with Mr. Dobbs, if I'm not mistaken, this water used to come across to our side. And the
Looks like
county
it's,
blocked this area. This is a canal system on the the west
The west
side.
side.
yeah.
It's like a slough that maybe once went.
I don't know how it all works.
So it was probably worse back then, and that was their fix. Because it would run into our side, so it was probably 10 times worse back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, they were definitely draining on our side.
Yeah.
And I remember, back in 2018, they went and they opened those gates without permission. And Emilio had to go and put them
Who's
back and close them. There was two of them that they opened because they were so flooded on that side.
Who's they?
Hillier Brothers, they own that property on 833 across from where exactly Mr. Nada was just talking about.
What's the name? Oh, Hilliard.
Hilliard.
Whoever that landowner was. So we had to, again,
They're on, that's Flaghold. Water
No.
control.
No.
that's on the other side of Montura.
Yeah.
So again, there's something, Mr. Dobbs, that we definitely have to look into and address as our community grows. And then also, Dina, eventually we got to put money aside somewhere to address that. What is the best way to tackle that, Mr. Dobbs, without, with low impact or, start brainstorming?
That we could probably, I got one idea, which is part of the Florida Resiliency Grant right now. Because it's open to keep targeting flooding areas. And that would be another area that we can phase into that resiliency grant, and it'll give us more money, which is probably putting all the culverts in underneath that and get the proper elevation.
And then the other good thing on my report there is, once again, I want to thank Central County's employees, staff, Becky and staff. They're doing an excellent job. It's definitely noticeable. I hear a lot of good things coming from our community. So kudos to the team. I know they're working hard. You can tell because you can tell not just because of the work, but because of all the stuff that was done in the Woodland area that nobody's tackled and approached in many years. So, the residents in that area are probably ecstatic. And the ones that bought that don't even know that's low-lying area are probably ecstatic as well because we've seen what it can happen. So thank you and your team for a good job and continue to do it. And I know it goes, no good deed goes unpunished, but you guys are doing an excellent job and we as the board appreciate that. Other than that, one more thing, just a quick update for the board and everybody here. This golf tournament that we have coming up, I have approximately 30 teams, only 6 teams left, so we're gonna have, I told you the goal was 100,000. We're definitely probably gonna net this year anywhere between 50 to 60. That's not my goal, but that's a start in the right direction, so it seems like it's catching traction, almost like the conference. You're gonna have to, get on, so that's a great thing, and a lot of people enjoy it, having a good time, so this year's tournament is gonna probably bring in more than the last year's tournament, so hopefully, the summer camp, that will release some of the money, that we use, and hopefully, our kids can benefit from that. Also, on another note, I did reach out, we're still trying to work with the county to put, ball teams together, baseball, softball, soccer, whatever. So we're working with that. Hopefully we can have a team from Montura representing and trying to get in that league and give us another opportunity for our kids to get involved, practice here or play there. So we're doing everything that we possibly can. So I have a lot of support from sponsors that are ready to go when that time comes. So kudos to that. So that's all I have. Mr. Cortez?
You guys have flyers for the golf tournament?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, you're a sugar sponsor, it's one of our main sponsors. We'll get
I mean,
you,
there's a lot of companies out there, that's why I was wondering.
Yes, sir.
Cause I mean,
and we would appreciate it, for sure.
yeah,
We'll get it to you.
you can send it to me, Becky, I'll
Send it right
And you guys are more than welcome. Every board member is more than welcome to be a part of it.
And just so you all know, we compete against another major golf tournament that weekend, and which is in Alabama. It's very well renowned, in Alabama, the golf, because a lot of the vendors and people that Mr. Mata has, worked with, they're like, we really had to choose which one we're gonna come to, and they said, we, hands down, will always come to you guys. And it's very well known. I don't know what it's called. It's one of those,
That's a new term, national
yeah.
conference of, contract. It's a new term. And it's, yeah, we can't compete on their level.
No.
There's no way.
That's what I'm saying. We
Our
don't.
funding compared to their funding, so, yeah. But we're holding our own, and it's helping the community, and again, all the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds go to our summer camp program. And Dina, you'll see that. So I looked at your numbers yesterday, and I'm like, these are off, but you don't have the rest of the story, so to speak. But there's a profit, and you'll see that from our, what was the report that was done, John? The report, what's the report that the guy does?
The audit?
The audit report,
Got it.
you'll see it. It's highlighted there too. But go ahead, Mr. Cortez.
I'm good.
You good? Mr. Moreno?
Hopefully next month we have the entire, team over here, present. I wanted, change the start time back to the old, 6 p.m. Because if you see it, I've been keeping track of, how many, landowners or, show up to the meeting.
Yes, sir.
It's an average between 8 to 10 at the most, if you take an average the last 7 months. The only time they show up is when we increase the taxes to $100. I remember we have about 22 over here. So we need to move that back to the 6 p.m. So we can, be more peaceful for everybody. And again, hopefully the community will understand that. And also come October, meeting the landowners, okay? We need to talk about, what I discussed back in, putting money aside,
Yes.
for the 290, the 238, to save money on the side. We're not gonna touch it, not even repair this or buy equipment. So in the 3 or 5 years, depends on John, how long it's gonna take. But we need to move forward with this because, like Becky mentioned, there's more people buying land and then more, permits. You can see how many houses are going up
Yes,
right
sir.
now on the community. So we need to gear up for that. And landowners have been here for so long, they need to realize this place is changing, it's doing a 360.
Sure.
So we need something to keep, pursuing that. I've been saying this since day one when I started, on this position 2.5 years ago, or 2 years ago. And, in the beginning, when people were looking at me, this guy's crazy, but guess what? The reality is out there.
Yes,
Constantly,
Sure.
you turn around, you see a lot cleaned up and a path ready to build a house. So that's what I wanna see that and spread the word out there that, we're moving forward for that.
Understood.
So we need to come up with a figure of, money to set aside, to come up with that.
And I agree with what you said, also workshopping it at our board meeting, at our landowners as well as going forward, putting the word out, what we're trying to become.
And even on the landowners meeting, the last 2 years, 3 years I've been going there, you don't have a full, clubhouse, show up to listen to that, so.
Yeah, I think a lot of things too is they don't completely understand.
I agree with you,
They don't
yes,
completely
no, they
100%
don't.
understand.
No, and they don't wanna understand that either, because they've been sitting here for so long
Sure.
that now it's coming up to either move in or move out, whatever you need to, but this place is moving.
Sure.
And we cannot just go procrastinating not to get,
We have to do our due diligence for sure.
you know, to move forward with the plan.
So what he's saying, Dina, is probably in the near future when we do vote on certain things, I think Mr. Moreno had a number in mind that he was gonna propose to the board, like $20 added increase. But that $20 for the next 3 years, whatever that might number, it could come out to 14 million, 2 million, whatever, whatever that number is, that stays in that budgeted line item for the purpose of when we do have to get,
I was surprised to see that you guys don't have reserve accounts for like the building equipment, major road stuff. And if it's something that's gonna sit for a while, I wouldn't just leave it in an account, you should have it in like a CD or
for
something.
sure making money, interest, yes, ma'am.
I thought we
We
did.
do have one.
We have one bank now,
Yeah, for US Century.
US Century Bank, we have,
Century Bank is the one,
I don't have
you have
anything
the,
from that one yet, do I?
yes, you have the statements.
You know,
That's a reserve account, and
Yes.
is it specified for anything specific or just in general?
so by law, under the
Rainy
governmental
days.
accounting standards,
Yeah, we have,
you have to set aside, is it 6 months,
3 months,
3 months?
minimum 3, yes, sir.
yeah,
For
payroll.
normal operating revenue.
Mhm.
And is it, reserved for what it can be allocated for, or if they need to build
Emergencies.
a whole new building or a new road? it can be
Whatever
for either?
emergency could arise.
They're saying 3 months for like something to happen for 3 months.
Yeah, and,
Or sometimes
that's a
emergency.
minimum, by the way, you could
Correct.
have more.
I think the auditor also mentioned that it was like a percentage, like a 25 to 40
I
or
think you're
something
Yeah,
percent of our total revenue per year.
that's what I think, yeah, connecting Dina with the auditor one time, and then secondly,
Yeah.
you know, to not, John Boyce, assistant, who did a lot of the work, I think if they spent 30 minutes on the phone, that could be valuable too, since they have 20 years of institutional history to,
Institutional, yes, sir.
yeah.
Great. All right, Mr. Moreno, anything else?
that's it, thank you.
Other than that, thank you, everybody, meeting is adjourned, appreciate it.